Morning, it's your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen with Captain Al Clowers. We're going to be joined by a couple of special guests on this show today. And thank you all for joining us. Thanks for always watching. Thanks for being a part of. It's Promar Ahi USA Monday. Captain Al and I got a lot of good things to say about Promar. They take very good care of us, and they take very good care of all of our members and all of our followers. So once again, thank you, Promar. We have a big announcement from them. The Rockfish contest is in full swing. They're giving away $200 worth of product. We'll show you that. We'll talk about that today. And then I want you all to think about this. Today is episode 700 on the podcast. This is our 700th podcast since we started officially calling this a podcast. We've done way more, but we didn't know what to call it back then. I was just doing a how-to videos every day at 12 o'clock, and then it rolled into a podcast, and this is episode 700, if you can believe that, gang. Pretty crazy, right, Captain Al?
Oh, yeah. That's a lot of podcasts, buddy.
A lot of talking. And
6 a week.
If you think about it, before I brought Captain Al and Justin and Pablo and all the gang on here, and Bill Varney and Michael Folks, I was doing this every single day with no guest, by myself. My first guest was Sleigh Day Ryan from the boat rental place, Sleigh Day, where you can self-guide yourself on a boat. He was my very first guest. That was pretty cool. Now, we can't even tell you how many guests we've had. We've had hundreds and hundreds of really, really cool people. And then we got Captain Al with us all the time. He's doing his live fishing shows now. He's fishing bass. He's fishing Back Bay. He's fishing Coronados. He's all over the place. And Captain Al, you got a special going on right now for Wednesday, right?
Yeah, Wednesday it's high tide at 8. So 8 to 1, I think it is. 220 a person. 3 people to go. Bonefish and bay sharks. It is biting. So I've had some inquiries over the last couple of weeks on here. So hopefully that lines up with everybody and we get to go fishing on Wednesday. If you want to experience a really good bonefish trip, don't wait. I need to know kind of by noon tomorrow so I can go get shrimp. But
yeah, well, gang, listen to this. If you watched the other day, Captain Al was in the Back Bay with those young men and their father, and they caught 10 bonefish. They caught a nice butterfly ray. They lost a couple of big whoppers. They caught a big shovel nose. It is time. Wednesday, they're saying that the weather outside is going to be close to 80 degrees in the Back Bay of San Diego. No wind. And listen, when Captain Al says that the tide is right, that means get off your lazy butt and call Captain Al and go do this. Gang, you don't understand. Catching a bonefish in California is very, very rare. Catching multiple bonefish with Captain Al in the Back Bay of San Diego, I can almost, unless something strange, I could probably guarantee you that you'll catch at least one with Captain Al, or someone on the boat will on Wednesday. If I wasn't busy, if I didn't have all this stuff going on, I would be at Al's house tomorrow afternoon, spend the night on the couch, and I'd go bonefish fishing, because Al tells me right now, Wednesday is the day. Talk about why it's the day, Al.
Well, it's, for one, it's springtime. The water temperature is rising, and this time of year they're always back there. So, and we got it's about a 5-foot outgoing tide in the morning. So, the thing about that, going on a high tide, keep in mind, if you think it's a little pricey, I have to go spend 3 hours prior to the trip getting ghost shrimp. So for me, it's like a 9-10 hour operation altogether. But they are biting. I'll guarantee at least one bonefish. But you should catch a couple of good handfuls, maybe 3-4 handfuls of them.
And if somebody thinks it's pricey, they obviously haven't been outside lately. They haven't been to the gas station.
That's the cheapest price. That's the cheapest trip I do. So And it's pretty epic, you know. And don't book a trip to Christmas Island or the Belize or Hawaii to go catch a bonefish. We got a couple big monsters, 19 inches the other day. We had one on the shark rod. Man, that thing was probably, I don't know, it jumped off. It actually jumped off right in front of me. And it was the biggest bonefish I ever seen on the cut bait.
It was incredible just to see those young men. Like I told that one young man, you got to remember this day you got a bonefish. You're going to think back for the rest of your life. I was 62 years old before I caught my first bonefish in San Diego Back Bay. Now, I had caught bonefish in Mag Bay, but I didn't. That wasn't cheap. You had to fly on a big old giant airplane down into Mexico and then get in a car and drive over the mountains and go to Mag Bay and then go catch a bonefish. So to think that you can get up in the morning in your own bed, drive down to San Diego Harbor, get on Captain Al's boat, go catch bonefish, shovel nose sharks, bat rays, spotted bay bass. The day I went with Al, we only fished for 3 hours. We had over 20 different kinds of fish. It was incredible. It was all that in a bag of chips, everybody. It was just an unbelievably epic day.
Yeah, and you don't even have to wake up early. 8 o'clock start.
Yeah, and then you get in early. And there
Yeah,
was something that you did that I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But Captain Al took me to a cool little restaurant for lunch right where we were fishing. We were in that restaurant in 5 minutes having a nice lunch before we drove back to the harbor.
right. We did a podcast in there.
Yeah, we did. It was such a fun day, gang. And you can do that too with Captain Al Clowers. His phone number's at the bottom of the screen, right underneath of his chin. And I'll tell you what, you want to go check it out. And the weather doesn't get any nicer. And the opportunity, when Captain Al tells you the tide's going to be perfect, it matters. And then, yeah, I don't know. Go look up bone fishing charters all over the world and see how many boats you can get on for $200, $225. It's just a absolutely amazing thing. So don't even think, God, I should have gone. No, go. Just go. You're sick. Call in to work tomorrow morning. Tell them you're sick. Get all your stuff ready and go fishing with Al on Wednesday.
It's going to be epic. The weather's going to be beautiful, and so the fish are going to be biting. So, and you don't have to stop and go pump shrimp. I already have them.
You'll already have them. You're guaranteeing the bait, and you're guaranteeing one bonefish.
That's if I have 3 people by around noon, because low tide's around 1 tomorrow.
Nice. So they got to call you on your phone right away because it looks like he's going to fill up really fast. 3 spots. Come on, you guys. Doesn't get much better than this. And then how was bass fishing yesterday?
It was good. It wasn't crazy wide open, but it was good. We ended up with 20 fish up to 4 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah, we're off the water at 2:30. No,
What lake were you fishing?
Otai.
Nice. And you told me there was some 4-pounders, huh?
Yeah, 3 of them. Yeah.
How the doctor loved that, huh?
Yeah, they should have been 6 pounds, but they're nice. They're all head, nice and skinny. But yeah, I caught 1 frogfish, 1 chatterbait fish, and then on this little dipper bait, the doctor likes to throw. He caught a 4-pounder on that too.
Nice.
We caught him about 4 different techniques. Beautiful weather. I even got my feet a little bit burnt, so I can get my tan going on now. Back in the sandals and shorts.
Nice. Somebody's at Al's house. When you hear that dog barking, that means someone's out in front.
Scam call.
Wow. Not good. We were hoping it was a charter. We were hoping somebody wanted to go fishing.
Yeah, it's time to get the boats off the dock. You know, I'm also doing that $200 off on the 3/4 day to the islands and the full day to the islands still too. So you guys want to go down and bow up on a bunch of lingcod and reds and all that kind of stuff with Mexican limits, get a hold of me. There is some yellowtail down there. They haven't really been biting yet, but they can start biting with this heat. So they like that those warm days. So we're also running those trips too on the Riviera 6-pack.
Nice. Nice. Yep. And how can they get a hold of you? Give everybody your phone number one more time.
It's 619-800-3474. So basically it's 619-800-FISH. Can't forget that.
Right. What do we got here? Oh, look at. What's up, Zack? How are you, son?
Good. How are you doing today?
We're phenomenal. Now, put the camera down a little bit. So, there you go. Hey, everybody. This is a big day. This is my 700th podcast. And I am blessed right now to be joined by my oldest son. That is Zack Hansen right there, everybody. First time ever on the podcast.
What's up, Zack?
Hey, everybody.
Captain Al Clowers.
Hey there.
Hey there, Captain Al. So, Zack, you went fishing yesterday or day before yesterday. Talk about that. Where'd you go?
I went out on the Umpqua River, right out by Reedsport, down to, what is that bay? Some bay down there. Wind was too bad to get out towards the ocean, so I ended up going upriver instead.
Yeah, does anybody on here watching from Oregon? Anybody up in Oregon right now? We got about 75 people watching live right now on YouTube alone. I wanted my son to come on here because he's trying to get himself a king salmon. It just opened, right, Zack?
Yeah, so they got a couple of different seasons going, but down on the Umpqua, it just opened.
Nice. And if any of you have any pointers or can help us out and point us in the right direction, because that is definitely an area that I have no idea about. Zack, you've been living up there for what, almost 2 years now?
Yeah, I'm out in Central, so we get the steelhead run on the Deschutes, but no salmon. So I took the drive out there to try something different. Watched a couple of videos online from other captains that might know what they're doing with sharp knives, and then took a shot.
Yeah. Did you ever fish with me at all?
With you?
Yeah.
I mean, I was on the boat. I was holding a rod. There was a lot of yelling at me. I think that's fishing with you, right?
Yeah, Zack. Zack, everybody asks me all the time, did your boys ever work with you on the boat? Let me tell Oh, my goodness. Did you ever work with me on the boat, son?
Yeah, some people had a lot of different motivations for going to school. Mine was just that reminder at the back of my head, I will have to go work with my dad if I fail out of school.
Oh, my goodness. So you're into fishing, though. You love fishing, right?
Yeah, it's great to go out. I love it as a pastime or a hobby. I don't have your dedication to being out there every single day, but yeah, it's great to get out there on a weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Or skip work, to do fishing things.
That's what we're trying to talk everybody into right now, is taking the day off on Wednesday and go fishing with Captain Al Clowers in the back bay of San Diego. But
I mean, I don't think my boss can hear me right now. My assistant and I have definitely dipped out to do crawdad fishing or rainbow trout fishing during the workday.
Nice.
Kind of left the boat in the back of the truck for that reason.
That's awesome, dude. Tell everybody where you live.
So I live in Bend, Oregon. Everyone's thinking when you hear Oregon, I'm living in Portland, jumping over heroin needles in the gutter. But no, it's actually the nice part. It's sunny. It's warm. Well, it's freezing cold, but it's sunny. We got that. Doesn't rain every day.
Nice.
That's cool.
Do you got trout up there?
Yeah, we got rainbow, and then, I guess this is just rainbows that made it to the ocean and back. We get a steelhead run up this way every year too.
Do you really? Steelhead?
Yeah, wow. They make it all the way up the Deschutes. I don't know how you get past all the dams, but down by Warm Springs, the reservation we got here, you can fly fish down that. You can't do it from a boat, but you can take a boat and stop and get out and then fish and then drift down the river and stop and get out and fish. So we get that big run every year.
Captain Al, you ever been up into Oregon?
No.
Nope. So you can't help, Zach. We need somebody that will take my son. I'll make it well worth your while if you can take him and get him a king salmon. We need to get, all he's going to do is need to be shown one time, and then he'll have it dialed in. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to fish. Tell everybody what happened to you the other day on your little boat.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I already set up. I'm buying a gas motor for it.
Don't
cuss. I took my trolling motor out. Oh, no cussing. All right. Yeah. That sounds weird around you. Have to tell the swear jar story?
No.
No, so I took the boat out. I just have a trolling motor, about the biggest marine battery I could get. Put that out there. Was trolling around 5-6 hours thinking like, oh, it's going to be great. I'm from the ocean. I don't deal with rivers all that much. I live now way inland, so with the river, as long as I'm going, up or down river, I got it. I didn't know tidal shifts affected which direction the river flows that close to the harbor. So I took it up river, was going to drift back down, and then I realized I'm not going the right direction. Once the battery died, I got to row almost 3 miles against the current. Oh, it was so much fun. Super recommend if anyone's looking for a good cardio workout.
Absolutely.
If you're looking for a relaxing thing after a 6-pack, I don't recommend it, though.
Yeah, I couldn't even believe it when you called me at the end and you could barely breathe. You were huffing and puffing. He's not going to make it. Then you had to drive 4 hours back. What, Al?
I just sent a text out. I don't know if my buddy lives in Washington or Oregon, but I just sent a text and I'll find out right now. But he commercial fishes up there somewhere.
Yeah.
You see my buddy Brian just asked you a question, son, right there on the bottom of the screen?
Wow, I made it smaller. No, I don't see it.
Do any kokanee fishing up there?
Yeah, we went out to Odell, and we rented a boat out there. The downrigger didn't work, so we tried to do some dumb ghetto rig thing. I didn't catch anything all day. It was fun. Got to putt around out there on Odell Lake for the day, but I didn't see anyone else catch it, even with the outriggers all day. So I'm not sure if that was the best place to be.
And as you can tell by listening to my son, he is definitely my son. He has no filter. So be careful with your verbiage, son. You got to be careful. We don't use that.
Did I do it again?
We don't use that kind of language on here. What do you catch out of the Columbia River, Zach?
I'm not near I haven't been out on the Columbia yet. So that's 2.5, 3 hours away from me. I guess the Umpqua is too, but I felt like going out to see the coast and the ocean again. So I went a little bit different direction. I've heard out by...
You don't want to get stuck in the mouth of that Columbia. That's called the graveyard of the Pacific.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. And that seems to be where they were saying to go out for salmon, right up by Buoy 10 down there by the mouth of it.
Yeah, that water.
But in a 10-foot Zodiac, I'm not...
That's on the show.
Hey, Kelly.
You look handsome with your stash. I like it.
Thank you.
Yay. Hi. Thanks for being on the show.
Crazy. Finally got Zach on the show. I can't believe it. I'm trying to get Brian to come in here from Promar. He's got a big announcement to make. I don't know what's happening. Brian, I sent you the link. Let me see what's going on there. Cap Mal, talk to Zach about salmon fishing.
I don't know a whole lot about salmon. I've never caught one, but that might change here pretty quick. Yeah, I know the Columbia River at that mouth you're talking about is super rough.
I'm just checking on you.
Yeah, that's what everyone kept saying to check out. But yeah, it's a 10-foot inflatable Zodiac. I didn't feel like dying over the weekend.
Yeah, I guess there's lots of debris in the water, and it's really rough from what I've heard.
Yeah. There's some side rivers that open up a little bit later in the season that I think my brother-in-law and I are going to go out and fish. I can't remember what the little tributaries off the Columbia are, or going up the Willamette River.
Right. Yeah, I have a friend of mine that lives up there somewhere. I'm trying to find out, but He's super cool, and he doesn't have a real job either. If he's close to you, I'm sure he can point you in the right direction, or to actually take you. See if they see the text within a timely manner.
Yeah, Jason Cutter was saying he thought that there was salmon in the Columbia. I'm sure there is, Jason. The really cool fish would be that sturgeon. You ever think of that, son?
Oh yeah, no, my sister and I were talking about going up for that, just to give it a whirl. But man, some of those are bigger than the boat.
That looks pretty cool. Big prehistoric dinosaur fish.
Like catfishing, right?
Yeah, except for deep.
Right. Yeah, I've never caught one of those either.
And then Zach and I caught a pike up in a really nice one. That thing was so good, right? What is like 8, 9, something like that, inches long?
Yeah, no, my friends and I kept going after that, and we got a couple 3-4 footers out of there, but can't say it's the best place to be fishing for them.
And that was when you were living in Arizona, right?
Yeah, so they got a. Let's see if I make Fish and Game mad. Fish and Game had a great plan out in Arizona to fix another plan they had to deal with overpopulation of fish by dumping a bunch of pike up in their lakes. And now that's all you get to catch out of those lakes. You get that, you got crappie. So, but it's cool. I mean, in Arizona, you get to go fish for northern pike. Who would have guessed that?
Wow.
Well, I want to tell Matt Ryan, my son Zach feels the same way I feel about the regulations. There's a great story, Zach, you can tell, because we talk about on this show a lot about grunion hunting. There was some observers one time. We were my sons are kind of like me. They're kind of like an edition of Captain Dave. So Zach had a great. Hey, Brian.
Hey.
What's up, Brian?
How's it
Brian's
going?
got a big announcement for everybody. He's at work, so we're going to let him make the announcement and can get right back to work. Can you tell everybody what's going on in the world of your saltwater guide?
Yeah, so we are going to be running a special event for all your Saltwater Guide members only. You have to be a member. Pretty much, we're going to be calling it the Rockfish Rumble. So it's going to be the first 3 months of the rock fishing season. You guys are going to be able to enter. All you guys got to do is be able to have the rock caught squirts or an Ikara jig or a diamond jig in the photo of a rockfish, whether it be a red, a Bacasio, whatever it might be. And then just tag hashtag Promar25 and tag at your saltwater guide. This could be through Facebook or this could be through Instagram. It doesn't really matter, but you guys are going to be able to have a chance to win over $200 in prizes. So you can see there, it's going to be a hat, some Ikara jigs, line, squid squirts, the larger squid squirts in the 7-inch, a sweater, tons and tons and tons of stuff. So please, guys, just keep supporting your saltwater guide, support us. Just make sure you guys are tagging us in all the photos. Dave's going to be picking the winners live, I'm assuming, or maybe he'll post it on the story. I'm not really sure about that, but he'll be able to hammer out all those details. And yeah, we're just excited, man. Rockfish season is here. I know that it's been a bit windy, but the weather's getting a lot better, and it's going to start getting good here. It's going to start getting really good here, hopefully.
Well, actually yesterday, the sea bass bit wide open at Catalina. We got reports on our community gang. Besides the rockfish, in between rockfishing, there's sea bass to catch at Catalina. There's lots of squid. There's so much stuff happening right now, and I'm super excited to be a part of Promar and this rock cod the season kind of deal. You hashtag your saltwater guide and Promar25 on any of your social media platforms. That'll get you entered to win this. Are we doing this once a month, Brian, or one time?
No, it'll be once a month. It'll be for 3 months. So there's 3 chances for you guys to win. Just tag us, and everybody who won during the ambush the season event, you guys know there's a good chance. Just tag yourselves, post those photos. Every single photo is an entry. So the more photos you guys post, the more fishing you guys do, the better chances and the better odds you guys have chance to win. So it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I think it's going to be phenomenal. It's just one more incentive to get involved. And Brian, I know you're at work right now. Thank you for doing this inside the showroom there behind you
Yeah.
guys. There's all the products, and a lot of our members have been in there. One thing, Captain Al, did you talk to Brian after the show? You guys should talk about that ghost shrimp pump. Is that cool, Al? Hello, Al.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we
I'll
talked
call you,
and
Brian.
he gave us some good tips. I think we got some good ideas as to what we're going to be doing on the second version, or maybe just a separate version of it. Maybe something a little bit taller. We got to work out some of the details, but we're definitely, we took into account a lot of what he said, and we appreciate everything he said. So we'll see what we
Good.
could do for that. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you, Brian, and we will see you. Maybe you can come in again tomorrow and talk a little bit to us about this contest and all the other great things that Promar has going on. Gang, if you want to save 15% on any of those products behind Brian right there, the QR code is up on the screen right now. You can go over to the website, or if you're listening and you're not seeing it, go to promarahi.com and put in the code YSWG, right, Brian?
Yeah, YSWG or YSWG22, either one of those two codes work. And they get you 15% off of the website, which is a killer deal. You really don't get that much more of a discount through anybody else. So working with Dave has been, you guys get a lot of benefits, and we're hosting this specifically for your Saltwater Guide members. So take advantage of it. You guys have a good chance to win. There's a lot of you guys, but there's a good chance for you guys to win some really, really cool prizes. And to kind of touch on really quick, don't want to take too much time up, but just kind of give a couple plugs here. Make sure you guys have your descenders. Make sure you guys have your rock cod squirts, your Ikara jigs if you're fishing in shallow water. We have the 80 grams. Those are great. Diamond jigs are a classic. They're a staple. So we have tons of different items for you guys to grab. Use that 15% off code. And, I'll throw in some extra line samples in there and a couple extra goodies for you guys. So as long as I see that YSWG discount code, I'll take care of you guys a little bit more on there too.
Thank you, Brian, very much.
Yeah, buddy.
I'll let you get back to your lunch break, bud. Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care.
See ya.
See you later.
All right, Zach. There's a story that I tell every few months or a couple times a year, and there's some people on here that have heard it, but until you hear it come from the man who was there, they all are wondering if that grunion story is real.
Oh, yeah.
No cussing.
I gotta be careful. Cussing. I'm technically HR here, so I'm sitting in my truck and no one hears this.
No cussing.
So, I don't know, was I 12, 13? We're down at a grunion run in San Clemente. And there's a bunch of tree huggers out there collecting the grunion after they've spawned and trying to release the dying fish out into the water and telling us how horrible of people we are and getting all choked up. I'm sure you guys have seen CNN or something. So, they're doing that whole thing. And I don't know what possessed me as a little kid, but I just picked one up, walked right up to him, looked him dead in the eyes, and bit the head off the fish. And just spit it out while looking at him. It's amazing how quickly it makes them run away. Little kid eating a fish in front of you, they just forget all about it. Like they think that fish weren't killed before they ate them in the store. They just grew in those little plastic containers.
Yeah, but the other story they're wondering is the time I took your two friends.
Oh, you're talking about the time. Story. I didn't know you wanted me to talk about you getting pantsless with a bunch of little boys. But
don't cuss.
So, no, we're going down. So we live back up in the far side of Ranch Santa Margarita. We're coming down towards Ortega on Antonio, and right where there's now all those super nice luxury homes. I hope someone lives there right now, but it used to be a nursery. All of a sudden, he just stops the car, pulls over, jumps out, and yells, "I have to go number 2." See, look, I self-edited there. Go number 2. Jumps out of the car, leaves it in neutral. He's got this stick shift truck, doesn't pull the handbrake. So he just drops his pants and starts going, and so does the car. Starts going down the hill. So he's waddling after the car with the pants around his ankles, jumps into the car. He didn't stop going at any point in this. So he's sprayed the whole side of the road, the side of his truck, his front seat. His pants are destroyed. Jumps in, pulls the e-brake, stops the car, resumes what he was doing. So he's still not done. has to wipe using his socks. It's his favorite way to wipe, actually. I have plenty of stories of us out in the woods and him wiping with his socks. We don't need to go there. Drops his pants, just leaves them there for whoever is going to open the nursery that morning at the front door. He just scattered down the whole thing. Gets back in. We had to get an old dirty towel from the back seat to cover him up in, and the car reeks. I don't know if you've been in an old 4Runner. You have the 4 windows, but there's a middle seat in the back, and then you've got the back container area. So I'm in the front passenger seat or shotgun. One of my friends, back right, hanging his head out one of the side sliding windows. My little brother's in the other one, hanging his head out the other one. My little brother's friend stuck right in the middle, just for the whole 20-minute ride back, right through the middle of Rancho Santa Margarita, just dry heaving as an old man's naked, covered in feces, with 2 kids that aren't his in the car and 2 that are. I mean, I'm never going to pass as his, right now. Pasty white. Little brother's a spitting image of him, so he's just thinking he's going to get pulled over and going to jail covered in poop. That's great. I don't know why I never talked to that kid again.
See, they think that I was embellishing the story. I don't think I gave the story proper. I mean, Zack was there, so and
No, I don't know what he ate, like rotten Mexican
Taco
food or
Bell.
something.
Taco Bell.
That was intense. That was a smell that still comes back to me right now.
Crazy, right, buddy?
Yeah.
And those kids that went with us, when I got out of the shower, because we were going to go grunny hunting, they were nowhere to be found, huh?
Yeah. He's still trying to get us to get back in the truck.
Yeah, I wanted to go grunny
Like, I rinsed
hunting.
off. I don't know why you guys are afraid of the car. It's only poop.
But, okay, you told that story. Tell the story of how we fished with the grunion, though, and how good that fishing was. You remember.
Oh, I mean, grunion make the best bait for whatever, whether it's sand bass or we're out there doing drifting for halibut and shovel nose. I mean, that was so much fun as a kid. If you've got little kids and you got a boat, that's the best. I mean, it's easy. You drift along the bottom. You're by the beach. They get to see everything. I'm not sure if they still allow you to fish any of those places anymore. I know they're going to close whatever they can, but when we were kids and doing it right off San Onofre or down along any of the beaches in San Clemente, and then he'd, anchor up the boat, and you could jump off the back, swim in, play on the beach, swim back out to the boat. I mean, that makes childhood memories. If you've got a boat like that with your kids, do the grunion run. It's fun at night. Yeah, you're going to miss it a bunch, and you're going to think that your dad's making up the whole concept that there's going to be a million fish that swim up on the beach, and they're going to be all over the place as you're sitting there for 4 hours waiting for this to happen. But week after week, when it does finally happen, though, I mean, it's a story I still tell people about on a weekly basis when I'm talking to people on fishing about grunion runs, and then how great the bait was. I mean, you go out and you're going to get something each time.
And then getting to grow up in the world that you and Sean got to grow up in, that was a pretty spectacular way to grow up, wouldn't you say, son? I mean, you're a dad now. You have a son, so you know what it is. Pretty fun, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Seeing his, I mean, we went out with him, last year. Got to see his face light up when he was out there with you. His brother didn't like much, but no, he definitely got the bug. Just, it's growing up with you down in SoCal and all of your friends who are captains. Every time you go out, people know what they're doing. And that is kind of the key, knowing what you're doing. And I've been here for years, aside from fly fishing. Can't catch anything, apparently. But,
yeah, that local knowledge is a good thing. But you and your brother, for that little time where I left the sport fishing industry and set up trade shows for a living, do you remember that first time we used Junior, our boat now, but it was Junior's boat, and I took you guys fishing? How terrified were you the first time?
Well, I mean, so far I'd only seen you drive things off-road, and that's a whole another level of terrifying. But getting out there on Junior's boat, I mean, it's a 21-foot center console. We're going out in the ocean with a guy that I heard knows how to do this. But I mean, who doesn't say they know how to drive a boat? Yeah, we were a little afraid, just to say the least.
Yeah, Zach's brother was shaking, and he's looking at me going, "You can't take this boat out there by yourself. You don't know what you're doing. Where's Junior? Where's your deckhand? Where's Max? Where's Max? Max, we can't go out here with." Oh my gosh, I was like, "Huh?" Zach used to fish with me when he was little. I used to take care of my son, and he would lay on the floor underneath me in the
Actually,
wheelhouse. But
I got that rod from when I was a kid in the truck with me right now.
do you really? The one that has your name on it?
Yeah, right here.
Nice. Oh yeah, that one of my regulars made that for you. There it is with the little reel. Custom made for Zack Hansen. Oh my
Still
God.
using it.
I've had that for 32 years.
32 years, yeah.
Wow.
Incredible. Yay. Look at that. Look at that. So if someone had an opportunity to go fish with Captain Al with their children in the back bay and catch shovel nose, you would definitely suggest going and doing that, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I can't recommend enough going with a local. I mean, if you go with your kids and you don't catch anything, it's going to start to make them not want to go. But if you can go with someone who knows what they're doing and catch, I mean, even if they get one fish, it's going to be a memory they never forget.
Right.
I mean,
I've had hundreds of them. I've had so many kids that have never caught a fish before, and I'm fortunate enough to be there and show them what's going on and be a part of that. It's super cool. I love taking kids fishing in the bay. It's super cool.
And those shovel nose, Zach, think about back when you were a kid, when you first saw those giant shovel nose. Those things are pretty spectacular. You still remember that, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's one of the cooler looking fish you can catch down there. I know everyone wants to go out and get marlin or bluefin or whatever. Maybe it's just because I grew up with Captain Dave, but I still think sand bass and calico bass are the most fun things to go fish for. But if you're looking for like a unique catch with your kids that they're going to remember, what's better than a 3-4 foot shovel nose fish? It looks like a giant guitar that comes out of the water that's half shark, half ray. It tastes amazing. I mean, really, what else could you look for in it?
Right. Some of them are 5 foot. So the big mama ones can get up to like 5 feet long, you know. Leopard, then every now and then a leopard shark will show up. They're way cool, you know. 100-pound bat rays, stingrays, all kinds of different stuff back there. When I took your dad, it was a smorgasbord of variety plus a whole bunch of bonefish too. It was cool. And I mean, I have plenty of adult anglers that are light line fishermen that I want to experience, but for kids, there has been back in the day. I used to do a 6-hour trip, and they'd catch 40 spotted bay bass, and then the tide would be right on the right day, obviously. And I look at the kid, I'm like, "Hey, you want to go try to catch a big old bay shark?" They're like, "Yeah." I take them back there, and when it happens, it's like the best thing ever for them. It's crazy. They the joy they get out of it is intense. That kid the other day, that was like a 3-footer, and he was beside himself. He didn't know what to do.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if you're a kid and you see a 2, 3, 4, 5 foot fish, yeah, there might be the trophy giants, but you don't need to catch that to have it be just implanted in your memory forever.
Right.
I mean, what's a kid 4 feet tall at 10?
Right.
They catch a 3-foot shark. That's the size of them.
Right. Getting bit is the major deal back there.
Yeah.
It gets so hot and heavy, I can't even get 3 rods in the water sometimes.
Zach, I want you to tell another little story since we got you on here. There's a good friend of mine on here, Brent. He's Seawolf is his name on here, but he's a diver. And people are asked all the time, "Dave, did you ever dive?" Zach, did we ever dive? Scuba dive?
Yeah, a couple times over there.
A lot of
Yeah, and I
times.
think they're closed out now too. Yeah, don't worry, I know what they're doing now with all the regulations. I'm just telling stories to make them feel bad about it if anyone might be watching on the other side of it. But no, those places we used to dive that are now can't touch. You go down there and you'd be able to pop scallops off, big orange lip ones. So we were out one day harvesting, and I got the gunny sack on my side, and he's got this thing so full of scallops that I could barely close that little metal latch on the top. I don't know why I'm carrying it. I'm a kid. He's got me towing this like 40-pound bag of scallops around. We get up to the top. My BC can't even compete with it anymore. We've drifted half a mile from the boat. My little brother's on the boat trying to pull the anchor, but he barely move. He's terrified to touch fish at this point in his life. Probably still. Well, we'll give him the benefit of that. Maybe he can touch them now. But he's been cutting the line with the hooks off every time he catches one, just leaving them all over the deck. Just fish everywhere. So he's
When
trying to pull the anchors. We're trying to swim to the boat. I can barely keep my head up. I'm just kicking as hard as I can to keep my head up. As I'm
and what did
getting
I keep
drugged
telling
down
you?
by this bag. He's yelling at me, "Don't drop the bag." Yelling at my brother to pull the anchor already. Brother can't get the boat started. Oh, it's great.
And then
Oh,
when he pulls up to pick Zach and I up out of the water, we literally get on the boat, and back then you could keep 10 calico bass. There's only 3 of us, Zach, Sean, and myself. That's it. He has 40 of them on the deck, and they're biting wide open as good as they can bite. Every one of them still alive. And they're laying all over the deck, like Zach said, and they all have about 1.5 foot of line hanging out of their mouth because he refuses to. He can tie a hook all day, every day, but he can't touch the fish. So he just cuts the line, ties another hook on, throws another bait out. Zach and I got up on the boat, and we couldn't throw those 10 extra ones over fast enough. It was so crazy, right, buddy?
yeah, you're having to measure the shorts because he couldn't be bothered to touch them, so he's just throwing them down. Can't hold it up to the ruler at the back to see.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
My boys grew up. They know which bathroom to use. That's for sure, Brent. There's no mistake. They can't not figure out the right bathroom.
oh, I still remember what boat was that down in Newport? Oh, with Goofy.
The freelance.
Oh, we were on the freelance. Sean, my little brother, is terrified to touch fish, obviously, and the deckhand there is yelling at him that we ain't moving this boat until you take that fish off the hook. And he's standing there with the whole freelance staring at him.
Yeah, we had 90 people on the boat. I was running the boat for the captain's day off, so I brought my kids out. We had 90 people on the boat. Go ahead, tell the story.
So my brother's standing on this calico bass because he doesn't want to touch it with his hands, trying to get the hook out. No one will give him a pair of pliers because they're making him get the hook. I mean, it's like lip hooked. It's not down its throat or anything. And he's delicately trying anything he can to avoid touching the fish. Finally gets the hook out, and he's like, "All right, now you got to get it over the side." He's trying to kick it underneath the rail. Finally, he just caves in, grabs it, and throws it. You'd think he wouldn't know which bathroom to use after that display, but
Yeah,
oh,
it was a great way to grow up, right?
oh yeah, lotion fights in the wheelhouse, lotion fights in the middle of Dollar Tree.
Oh my gosh, that's right. I forgot.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, yeah, the wheelhouse would always be full of lotion. When I figured out these, him and his brother would not let me put sunscreen on him. So it was anytime I saw lotion, I would just squirt it on him. And we would go to the mall, gang, and I'm the worst father in the world, right, Zach? We go through the mall, and anything that you could squirt, we would squirt on each other. Oh Lord. So is there anybody out there that can help my son Zach catch a salmon? Anybody? I don't see anybody jumping on here from Oregon.
No, I
I
mean, the
really,
thing I learned about Oregon's fishing's completely different than SoCal. Those pretty much everything we fish for doesn't make it this far up, and it flip flops.
yeah, they're not into that cold water.
No, I mean, my assistant's out there. He was out there this weekend. He was Coos Bay. He was in, so not too far from where I was at, but he was rock fishing off the pier. He got a couple big lingcod, which a little different.
Shallow water lingcod.
Yeah. He got this. He actually got this little pontoon boat. Not like a pontoon in the traditional sense. We do them like raft style here, where you're drawing like a 1/4 inch of water sitting on it by himself. He decided to take that out. It said it was only like a 3-foot swell, but he got distracted for a second, got sideways, got flipped, lost his oars, got to swim the thing back in over 30 minutes during his live stream. Solid day for him. That was his. I'm going to make it out past the breakers. Not so good of an idea. Oh,
Well, Zach, if anybody comes on or anybody sends me a message or anything, I'll send them your way. I want to thank you for coming on the show today. It's been an honor and a pleasure to have my son with me finally. We've had the
Yeah,
little one before. My boys aren't little by any stretch of imagination. Zach's almost 33 years old. Sean's 31 years old. And Zach, how tall are you?
6'5".
Yeah, so my boys aren't little. And but they got my back and I got their back, and we've had a great life. And I'll tell you what, the three of us, we're like, when we get together, it's right back to being little kids again, running around like a bunch of knuckleheads. We have a good time. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah, we'll have to get you up here to do one of the steelhead runs or fly fish on the Deschutes sometime.
And like I tell Kelly, it's been an honor to be your father and your brother's father and Riley's stepfather. It's just been a complete honor. So thank you guys very much for letting me be your dad.
Well, thank you. And, thank you for all the memories getting out there as a kid. Like I was saying, I mean, you really can't put a price on those. I think about shovelheads all the time. I was showing my Corey the other day about it. So, yeah, I mean, if you get the opportunity to do any of the things I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to have Dave show me as a kid, I can't say enough how much it would mean to a kid to be out there and doing that.
And your favorite thing to fish for is giant squid. Talk about that for a few minutes, and then we're going to end the show.
If any of you see the Humble giant squid or back, get your kids out there. You could be blind and facing the wrong way and catch 4 of them. I mean, they're at the boat or they're not there at all. And the second they're at the boat, you're throwing the squid jig over. Within 30 seconds, you've got one of the biggest fighting things you're going to get. Coastal fishing. That's not going to be some trophy fish way out there that you may or may not see on a 5-day trip. You're going to get 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. You're going to get tired of catching them. They leave when everyone's done, and it might be 30 minutes after you get there before everyone's arms are rubber. But you're catching 4, 5, 6 foot giant squid right off the side of the boat. And they're amazing to eat, super fun. Another one of those things that if you got a kid, you got to get out there for it. They will never forget that. Definitely recommend.
And it's super important, right, to take your kids fishing as early as
100%.
you possibly can. We talk about it on this show all the time, how important it is. Look around your sphere of influence, your nieces, your nephews, your grandkids, whatever it is, you've got to grab them and take them out there and let them experience some of the cool stuff that Zach got to experience. And I talk about it all the time. I grew up blessed in the sport fishing industry. Grandpa had all those sport boats. It was a pretty cool way for me to grow up, and I had to make sure I turned it on to my boys, because I sit back and think about it when I was 3 years old and your grandma put my shoes on. It's right there, and I know that you have a lot of memories. I didn't know you had them so deep, though. This is cool to hear and cool to see for me.
Yeah, and I know, I mean, if I hear about the squid coming up, I mean, we've flown out, the two of us, to go again. Neither one of us live nearby anymore, but if I hear it's going on, I will pick up a last-minute flight and fly out. And, as soon as I hear another one's going, my son's finally old enough to not be pulled over the side by it. 7. He's a big dude. I'm gonna get him out there first chance I get for that. So
Yeah, it was fun to take him fishing last year because unfortunately his mom's scared to death of the water, so we had to wait till he was almost a grown up, 6 years old, to take him fishing. Which
no fishing under the rail for him as a kid.
no,
No
that's for damn
daycare in the
sure.
wheelhouse.
Yep. Well, I would say, gang, if that doesn't tell you how important it is to go fishing with Captain Al on Wednesday, we can't emphasize this enough. You got to get out there and go do that back bay. The really cool thing about the back bay, Zach, is there's no waves, there's no swell. You're inside of San Diego Bay. It's like a lake. And Al has that back bay wired like I had Dana Point San Clemente. He's got it. So he took your dad and taught your dad a bunch of stuff. And I can't emphasize enough how important it is for you guys to take your children and go fish with Captain Al Clowers. Whatever. This is what I used to tell Zach and Sean. I'm a parenting 101. I would take them out of school all the time when cool stuff was going on out on the water, because you're going to learn way more going fishing with me than you'll ever learn in a classroom. Right, buddy?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you may not learn how to read, but no, I mean, you're going to have memories. What's one day of school versus a lifetime memory or lifelong memory? Maybe I shouldn't be saying that again. Make sure no one's watching me from work, right?
It is school.
It's definitely worth it.
It is school. Learning the outdoors is another subject of school, you know?
I mean, I went on to get my degree in environmental communication. I wonder where that came from.
Yep. No. You did good, buddy. I'm proud of you. Good job, my man.
Well,
Good
thank
job.
you. It was great being on your show. I got to go back to doing my job, but thank you guys all.
Go back
Great
to
seeing
work.
you.
Love
to
you,
see
buddy.
you.
Thanks for coming on here today. You made your Father's Day.
Well, thank you so
Have a
much.
great
Talk
day.
again.
Bye, buddy. All right, gang. Well, it doesn't get much realer than that. I'll tell you what.
Hey,
I got
Dave.
tears in my eyes. Yes, sir, Al.
I just got a text back about that salmon stuff. Chris, the owner of the Maps company, he lives in Eugene, Oregon.
Okay.
And he's a commercial fisherman, basically. So I can give him a call and then see what he's had. That's close to your son, right?
Yeah, that's very close.
Right. Okay. Let me hook it all up for you, buddy.
Absolutely. That would be great. Yeah, he did a 4-hour drive to go catch nothing the other day. So going
Right.
3-hour drive to Eugene to hook up with your buddy would be pretty spectacular. He would love that. Thank you for reaching out.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's who we are, gang. Now you get a little insight into Captain Dave and the horrible human being that he is and the horrible father that he was and still is today. I wanted to make sure that my boys got to grow up the way I grew up, enjoying the outdoors. And hopefully there's a bunch of you. I know Tim Ogilvy, you do it. I know you turned your kids on to it. Now they're in their cars driving around. My good buddy Cubby Paul, your boys are kind of like my boys. They grew up with salt water in their veins. And so many of you that are sitting here wondering, when's a good time? Right now. Take the day off. Take them out fishing on Al's boat. Don't worry about you don't have the money. You can't afford it. That never slowed me down. I just did it, then figure it out later. We need to get out there. We need to make sure those two boys right there are the only guys in their groups that know how to change a tire. You know, it's sad that has happened to American children, but you got to get your kids out there. If your kids aren't out there experiencing the outdoors and doing that stuff, it's your fault. Those of you that are watching the show today, it's your fault.
Right. I got a pro tip about the kids, the dads taking the young kids fishing. I heard your son talk about being yelled at. My son has a really familiar story. So when I fish with the grandkids, I refrain from any of that, even though I have to hold my breath, sometimes. But don't yell at your kids if you want them to keep fishing with you. My son quit fishing because I was just pounding on them too hard. So
Yeah, well, that's how I grew up. That's how I learned. That's how I did it. It worked. But we never yelled at each other in a violent manner. I yelled at them
right,
so that they would learn how to fish. At the end of the day, we'd go get some burgers or something. There was never animosity driving home in the car where there wasn't any talking. It was a different thing. My son
right.
will tell you, it never got to the violent level. We would just, when you're catching fish and fish are biting, you don't have time to say, "Oh, son, you may want to turn the handle a little bit to get the fish in." No.
Right. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, from my experience, it doesn't work too good when you're pounding on them all the time.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And Zach said I was yelling at him, not all the time, just whenever we were together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my son has some cool stories too. Yeah,
I bet.
but he doesn't fish. He don't fish. I started him team tournament bass fishing with me when he was like 7 or 8, and I wanted to win, but I had the wrong mentality, so I put a lot of pressure on him, and it didn't work out too good. I burned him out quick. But,
And yes, Galactic, I do have a monkey. His name's Marley. He's on my show every day with me. He's been with me now for almost 4 years. He's 5 years old. He's a marmoset monkey. His name's Marley. And this right where he's at right now, he will stay all day. If he could stay right there on my shoulder all day, he would. He doesn't want to really go anywhere else. He'll stay right there on my shoulder. He lays out. He's super comfortable. He drives around in the car like that. He's just a really cool little dude. It took a long time to get to this level, though. Captain Al's knows Marley knows it took a long time before we could even touch him. But now it's totally cool, and this is what he does all day, every day, hanging out with me. Yeah, and if you ain't first, you're last. That's kind of how my boys grew up. That's kind of how they grew up.
right.
Got pounded on by their dad.
Absolutely. Well, I guess I'm going to jump off here. Been a great show. You guys want to go bass fishing, Back Bay fishing, Coronado Islands fishing on 3 different platforms? Call me.
Yeah, and don't forget, gang, the big, yes, very, very expensive. If I told you how much Marley cost, and he's a rescue monkey, but they die of loneliness. His whole room has been converted. If you look behind me, you see it. It's a jungle in here. He's got all the greatest things, the trees, the plants, everything in here. The amount of food that we throw away every day, because let's just pretend like Captain Al brought over a candy bar and Marley liked it. He'll eat it today. He'll never touch it again. You'll go buy 10 of those candy bars tomorrow. He'll never eat another one. He likes mango sauce and he likes dried mango, but those are the only 2 things he's consistently eating the whole time. So, yeah, it's crazy. They die of loneliness, so Kelly or I have to be with them all the time. He loves to be around people. He loves that, but it's a big giant siphon of money for Marley. He's the most well taken care of, spoiled little animal on the planet. But we don't want him to die. We don't want him to die of loneliness. But if you were to go out on the open market and buy Marley, buy a marmoset monkey, $6,500 right now. And there's a few states in the United States you can have them. You can get them down here in Mexico all day, every day, right on the corner. You just don't know what they're worth. So everybody that's watching our show today, I want to thank you all very, very much. You guys are part of history today. This is episode 700. 700th episode. We're not slowing down. We're not going anywhere because of our great sponsors. And another thing, gang, we talked about a couple weeks ago, and I got 4 or 5 phone calls, which is great. If you have a product and you're having a hard time getting it in front of people and you're thinking about Google ads or you're thinking about Facebook ads, let me tell you something. We get somewhere between 20 and 30 million views a month. And our people that are watching our stuff are the people that are going to buy your stuff. So when you think about the ad you're going to put out there, remember when you Google at it or Facebook at it, you have no idea who's looking at it. When you show your product on our show, you know exactly who's looking at it and you can interact with them. So we're always looking for sponsorship possibilities. We have that live fishing show. Captain Al goes live. Captain Al goes live in the Back Bay. Captain Al goes live in the ocean. Captain Al goes live in the lakes. So you're getting everything you could possibly get. The live fishing shows get 20 to 40,000 views a day live. The podcast gets about 30,000 views a day across all social. We're on every platform you can think of. There's not a platform I can think of that we're not on. If you guys are not finding us on a platform you like, let us know. We don't even know that platform exists because we're live on every platform that I know of. So if you're not seeing us, let us know. We'll put it out on another platform. I've never had enough of anything, and I'm sure the heck don't have enough views. Right, Al?
Absolutely, Dave.
Well, hopefully someone calls you today, Al. Give them your phone number one last time, and we're going to get out of here too.
619-800-3474.
And gang, tomorrow we'll have the great Michael Folks back with us, co-hosting, and we got a couple of lure companies that are going to come on. And then next week with Michael will be Scott Mason from the history of surface irons and Taddy lures. It's going to be a great show. But tomorrow we have a jig manufacturer coming on with Michael. It's going to be a great show. Check out the history of sport fishing. Check out PromarAhi.com. Save 15% on all the products, and we'll be with you tomorrow. Have a great day. Turn off the news. They're all lying.